The Canadian Club of Halton hosted author Ken Mcgoogan as he spoke about his new book, Shadows of Tyranny. Nikki Wesley spoke with the author after his presentation about what inspired him to examine dictatorships of the 20th century to sound the alarm about the possible democratic collapse in the United States.
I was saying, well, it looks like I'm worried about Trump being elected. She's an American. She said, well, why are you worried? You're not an American. Yeah, well, you know, I'm the mouse living next door to the elephant. That was before he was elected. Then he gets elected, and that's when, like everybody else, I began running to books like It Can't Happen Here by Sinclair Lewis, and a myriad of other books warning against just such a political moment.
Author Ken Mcgoogan was the speaker at the Canadian Club of Halton's last meeting before the holidays. He was discussing his new book, Shadows of Tyranny, Defending Democracy in an Age of Dictatorship.
My original subtitle was a resistance narrative, ranging from Hitler and Stalin to Donald J. Trump. So that, I think, kind of evokes the tenor of it. Basically, I go back and look at the 1930s from the perspective of today and see a lot of history rhyming. That's the quotation that kind of informs the whole book. It comes from Mark Twain and others, but the idea that history doesn't repeat itself, but often it rhymes. So you see variations happening, and I think that is, to a large extent, what we're seeing happening today. That's what I track through the book, looking at the history of, well, what happened the last time a populace elected a fascist demagogue in the most powerful nation, well, in that case in Europe. What happened last time? Well, we don't much like what happened last time, and some of us don't much like what's happening today.
What phase from the past does Mcgoogan see current events corresponding with?
It took me a while to arrive at where I think we're at now, 1934. I thought we were later. I thought Kamala Harris was going to be more of a Churchill figure, but it didn't play out that way. And I looked again at the timeline at the front of my book, and I saw, okay, I see. It was 1934 when Hitler consolidated his power. It wasn't before that. It was 1934. And now I see, and I'm not the only one, obviously, Trump consolidating his power, putting his people, his yes men and yes women in position. So, you know, they don't have to be qualified. They have to be able to answer one question. Are you loyal? Can you do what I want you to do? Are you going to argue with me? Are you going to argue? No, sir. I'm not going to argue. You know, okay, you're in.
For Halton News, I'm Nikki Wesley.